morning students, welcome to the online course on digital speech processing. So speech processing it means that the processing of speech signals. Processing of speech signals in analog domain or digital domain. Analog or digital domain. Processing the speech signal in analog domain, we can call it as analog speech processing. In digital domain, you call it as digital speech processing. So analog domain or digital domain, the input signal, the physical signal is a acoustic pressure variation as a function of time. That is a sound variation as a function of time. Sound variation as a function of time. That is acoustic pressure variation as a function of time. So that means the input is a sound signal that is needed to be converted into electrical signal by using the transducer called as microphone. So we have to use the high resolution microphone to convert the sound signal into electrical signals. We know that electrical signal is a variations in voltage or current as a function of time. So this analog speech processing input speech, that is analog signal, you can process by using analog system. Output is a analog signal. That means you can do the amplification, you can reduce the speech signal strength, and you can use the filtering methods, then you can use the modulation. All the operations are done in analog domain. Output is analog signal. So this is a electrical signal. If you want to convert this electrical signal into sound, that is for us to hear it, then for this we need to use the transducer called as loudspeaker. So loudspeaker is used to convert the electrical signal into sound. So this is the way how analog speech processing is done. When we go for digital speech processing, means that you got to use the digital signal processing techniques to process the digital speech signals. So digital signal processing techniques. So for this we have the process, that is we need to make use of the digital signal processing techniques to process the digital speech signals. So digital speech. How to get the digital speech? So digital speech, you have the sound, signal that is converted into microphone, converted into electrical signal by using microphones. This electrical signal is an analog signal or continuous time signal which is varying as a function of time. Then this analog signal is to be converted into this is the system converted into digital signal. So the system is comprising three blocks, namely sampler, quantizer and encoder. That is, you need to give the analog speech, to the sampler, this is quantizer, and finally you have encoder. If you want to process the speech signals in digital computer or dedicated hardware by using digital signal processing techniques, we need to convert the analog speech signal into digital speech signal. So what is the function of the sampler? Sampler converts the analog signal into discrete set of samples. This is a sequence of real numbers. To convert the analog signal into discrete set of samples, that is suppose if you consider the analog signal as say x of t is equal to x of n into tx. This n takes integer values. N is from minus infinity to plus infinity. This ts is a sampling interval or sampling time. that is a interval between two successive samples of the signal. So how to choose Ts? So this Fs equal to 1 by Ts. So Fs is the sampling rate or sampling frequency. This Fs should be chosen greater than or equal to twice the maximum frequency. So x of t, so for the speech signal, it contains the frequencies from 0 to 4 kilohertz. Suppose the speech signal contains the frequencies from 0 to 4 kilohertz, that means 4 kilohertz is the maximum frequency. Then your Fs is equal to 8 kilohertz. So this is actually sampling theorem. So sampling theorem says that representing x of t a sequence of samples, x of nts are recovering x of t from x of nts perfectly. This Fs must be greater than or equal to twice the maximum frequency. This is the sampling criterion that needs to be followed when you convert the continuous time signal or analog signal into discrete set of samples. This is the sampling theory. So once the samples are there, then we need to process it. We cannot process it because these samples are taking the values in infinite range of values. Now, quantizer comes into effect that it converts the set of samples x of nts into set of quantization levels. This quantization is an approximation process that converts the data into set of quantization levels. These quantization levels, that is, these are the approximate values of x of nts. This is xq of nts. This quantization error, this is a quantized value minus x of nts. So this why this quantizer is needed to convert this set of samples into set of quantization levels. So in order to assign fixed number of bits to each quantization level, we are going for the quantizer that is needed to convert the sample values taken in infinite range into values or into levels in finite range of quantization levels. Next step in conversion from analog speech into digital speech, this is a encoder. This encoder will assign uniform number of bits to each quantization levels. For an example, if number of levels it is equal to 8, it is equal to 2 power 3, then 3 bits are assigned to quantization level. So sample, it is converted into level, then level is assigned uniform number of bits. This is the pulse code modulation. So this is the procedure to convert the analog speech into digital speech. So discrete set of samples we have. These samples can be directly processed by the digital signal processing techniques. So to understand this subject, digital speech processing, we need to have the prerequisite courses signals and systems and the digital signal processing, abbreviated as DSP. So in this session we are going to recapitulate the concepts behind signals and systems. So first we will see signals and systems, then we will proceed to digital signal processing, then we will move on to the digital speech processing concepts and how the digital speech is processed by using digital signal processing methods in time domain and frequency domain. So signals and systems. Since the subject is on digital speech processing, we are going to deal only about discrete time signals and systems. Though the signals and systems we have two major classifications: continuous time signals and systems, discrete time signals and systems. So we are going to see, or we are going to deal about discrete time signals and systems. That is the discrete time signal, that means the signal and the systems, they are represented by sequence of numbers. Discrete time signals, this is a sequence of numbers. So x of n, this is actually x of n into ts, this is sequence of numbers. For an example, it may be 1, 0.2, 0.3, something like that. Then this arrow is there. This arrow is indicating the value at n equal to 0. Value at n equal to 0. This is the analysis of signal in time domain. sequence of numbers. Then discrete time signals, we have classification of discrete time signals. Elementary signals and the classification based on properties. First we will see the elementary signals. Unit step, unit impulse, unit ramp, exponential and sinusoidal signals. What is unit step? Unit step signal is defined as u of n, it is equal to 1 for n greater than or equal to 0 and 0 n less than 0. So here this is taking the value, it goes on n, this is u of n, takes the value 1, it is 0, 1, 2, it will go on. As I told you, n takes integer values from 0 to minus infinity to plus infinity. Here it is defined only for the positive values of n. Then unit impulse, the del of n equal to 1 only at n equal to 0 and 0 n is not equal to 0. So del of n is defined only at n equal to 0, that is unit impulse. 0, 1, this is del of n. Next elementary signal, this is unit ramp signal. R of n, this is n, n greater than or equal to 0, 0, n less than 0. This is defined when n it is 0, it will go on. Zero, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is R of n. This is 0, 1, 2, 3, it goes on. So this is a linear signal, but when n becomes infinity, R of n also becomes infinity. This is a unit ramp discrete time signal. Next classification is exponential and sinusoidal signals. x of n, first exponential, x of n equal to a power n into u of n. That is a power n greater than or equal to 0, and it is 0, n less than 0. So u of n is that it is used for representing the signal for positive values of n. If a is integer, x of n becomes growing exponential. If a is fraction, x of n becomes decaying exponential, discrete time signal. Then sensual signals, x of n, this is a magnitude sine omega naught n. This is, so omega naught is discrete angular frequency this n is from minus infinity to plus infinity, and a is supposed to be the amplitude. So this according to the amplitude, it is varying from minus a to plus c. So omega naught is the discrete angular frequency. This is 2 pi into discrete frequency f naught. This is 2 pi into continuous frequency divided by fs. Divided by fs. This is the relation between this discrete frequency and the continuous frequency. So discrete frequency, this is obtained from this continuous frequency by multiplying discrete frequency with fs. Then this is f naught equal to f naught by fs. This is very important relation to have the clear understanding of the relationship between the continuous frequencies and the discrete frequencies. Next classification, it is based on properties that a particular discrete time signal is satisfied. So here you have first one, based on the properties that the particular signal is satisfying, even or odd. Next one, this is a periodic or aperiodic. This is energy or power. Then we have even or odd, periodic or aperiodic, energy or power, then deterministic or random. First, even or odd. So you have discrete signal, which is x of n, if x of n is equal to its mirror image, then it is a even. If x of n equal to minus of x of minus n, this is odd. So for this, cosine signal or cosine discrete signal or discrete sequence, it is coming in the even sequence, and this is a sine signal is the best example for the signal being odd sequence. Next one, periodic or non-periodic or aperiodic. If x of n is given, then it has to repeat itself for every period. So if x of n equal to x of n plus capital N, then signal is periodic. Then the capital N has to be integer. This is a set of for every n samples, signal is repeating. That is the meaning. Here one example we'll see for periodic and non-periodic. So take the example A equal to 2 into cos pi by 3 into n. This is an example. So here first you have to equate x of n equal to x of n plus capital N. That is pi by 3 into capital N. You will get that pi by 3 into capital N should be equal to 2 pi into small n. So why the small m is used? This is the m is the smallest integer. To have n integer. So pi by 3 into capital N equal to 2 pi into small m, then only the signal will be periodic. Then this capital N is found out. So for this case, m is equal to 1. This is a capital N equal to pi by 3 into capital N is equal to 2 pi into small m. This is a 2 pi into 3 divided by pi. So you will get 6. So for every 6 samples, the signal will get repeated. This capital N is called as fundamental period. So for every n samples, it repeats. That is, for every 6 samples, the signal is repeated. So this is since capital N is becoming an integer, this signal x of n is periodic. Periodic with the fundamental period equal to 6. So take second example. X of n equal to cos of 2 into cos of root 2 pi into n. So for signal to be checked for periodicity, you got to equate x of n equal to x of n plus capital N, that is root 2 pi into capital N. This is equal to 2 pi into small m. Since m has to be integer, even if it is m equal to 1, then capital N becomes root 2. Capital N becomes root 2. This is a irrational number. It is not integer. So this x of n is not periodic. Next classification is energy or power. For energy, so you have the formula n equal to minus infinity plus infinity x of n mod square. Power, this is 1 by this is a formula for finding energy and the power. If energy is finite and the power is 0, then this particular sequence or signal is called as energy sequence or energy signal. Energy is infinite and the power is finite. This is a power sequence. For this we will take one example. X of n equal to half power n into u of n. Half power n into u of n. So for finding whether it's energy or power, first we have to compute energy. This is summation n equal to 0 to infinity, because u of n is 1 equal to 1 for n equal to 0 to infinity, half power n, then mod square. Half power n mod square. This is a summation n equal to 0 to infinity 1 by 4 power n. This is a 1 by 1 minus 1 by 4. This is a 4 by 3. This is finite. Then we have to compute the power. This is a limit n tends to infinity 1 by 2n plus 1. Here for this case n equal to 0 to minus n to plus n. Then here x of n, this is 1 by 4 power n. So this will be limit n tends to infinity 1 by 2n plus 1. This is 1 minus 1 by 4 power n by 1 minus 1 by 4. Right? So as n becomes infinity, this power is equal to 0. Power is equal to 0 as n becomes infinity. So this particular sequence, that is x of n half power n into u of n, is energy sequence. This is example for how to find whether it is energy or power sequence. So all periodic sequences are power sequences. Next classification is a deterministic or random signals. Deterministic signals, first they are defined with a well-defined mathematical expression. Signals can be predicted at an instant of time. Then present, past and future values are known. Random signal, whatever properties we have defined or whatever the points we have defined for deterministic, they are not satisfied for this, then here it is a void. So the speech signal is random, one-dimensional signal. To characterize the random signal, we have to go for statistical parameters to describe. Statistical parameters may be mean, mode, median, standard deviation, variance, autocorrelation and cross-spectral density. Autocorrelation and cross-spectral density. These are all the statistical parameters used to describe the random signals. So they may not have well-defined mathematical expressions, then they cannot be predicted at any instant of time. In the present, past and the future values are not known. Right? They will keep changing. The statistical parameters are namely mean, mode, median, standard deviation, variance, autocorrelation and cross-spectral density. They will be used for describing these random signals or mathematically analyzing the random signals. These statistical parameters are used. So with this, this session is getting over. Then next session we will see about discrete time systems, then discrete time systems and how to analyze the discrete time signals and the discrete time systems in time domain and frequency domain, especially in frequency domain. So thank you all.